skills on the platform, back at you with another one. What's up, YouTube? Today's lesson, I've been moved to do this, is on aggression. And there are other words that are related, to this, as a like aggressor, hostile. Okay. Now, I want to talk about the aspect of aggression in the 3D, from the 3D standpoint, and from a spiritual standpoint, because we should know that the things that happen in the 3D, or things that were created in the 3D, were once a thought. So if it was a thought originally, it's something that's more spiritual than anything. That's where it originates from, to be able to be produced or act out upon in the 3D world. Okay? So let's begin. Now, the definition of aggression, I pulled this from the Etymology Dictionary. Aggression, 1610, unprovoked attack. From the French, aggression, 16th century modern French, aggression, same. From Latin, aggressionum, also a going to, an attack. Noun, of action from past to step, a step, figuratively, a step forward, something, an approach. Okay. Psychological sense of hostile or destructive behavior. First recorded in 1912. Now, aggressor is a noun, 1670. A person who first attacks. From Latin, aggressor, to attack. Now, just kind of go over that a little bit before we go into other words that are similar to aggression. Now, it means to, in short, an attack. Person who first attacks. Now, dealing from a 3D aspect, there's several ways someone can attack you. They can attack you physically. They can attack you verbally. Okay, they can attack you spiritually, right? So, being that there's several ways that you can be under attack, meaning that this aggression that a lot of people engage in towards others. Now, one thing that sticks out to me in regards to aggression is, if someone is aggressive towards you, who, it doesn't matter who it is, typically that means that that person has some harbored feelings about you, whether they know you or not. They may not like the way you look. They may not like what you have on. Something that you say could trigger this aggression in someone else. Something that they may not like that you said. Now, let's take it from a standpoint of somebody not liking what you may have said, because typically that's where the aggression comes from. Someone doesn't agree with someone else's point of view, so they may get aggressive with you, right? They may try to attack you because of what you said. Now, unless somebody actually has threatened your life, right? Verbally threatened your life, there should be no need for aggression. Even if somebody was to call you out of your name, they're using verbal aggression to be able to get you to get physical with them. So that way they can kind of paint you as the aggressor. Like, look, you see? But they use it towards you, but not in a physical sense. It was more of a verbal sense and a spiritual sense. It was a spiritual verbal attack in a sense, because it was some thought out that they said to themselves, well, I'm not going to attack this person because I don't want to look like the a-hole. I don't want to look like the aggressor, someone that attacks first, which we know is the aggressor, right? So we realize that someone can verbally attack you and then cause the other to react physically. So we shouldn't react physically. That meaning that we kind of should recognize what this person is doing at the time of their verbal aggression. So it's something that's thought of in advance, and someone that shows aggression towards you, whether it's verbal, physical, or spiritual, they don't like you, and they may not even have a reason why they don't like you. Thus goes into the spiritual aspects of aggression. There's something that's going further than the 3D world, which is causing these people to do this, or should I say, act out this aggression towards others. It's some deep-seated issues going on, and it's more spiritual than physical, because you can't meet someone for the first time, or you knew them for a month or so, and be aggressive towards them, especially if they're not using any kind of verbal aggression towards you or even spiritual aggression towards you. It's something. It's not something wrong with the other person that they're projecting this aggression towards. It's something deep-seated issue within that individual who's being aggressive. There's something going on within themselves, which is causing them to be aggressive. All right? So let's move on, so we can bring this full circle. Hostile, which is tied in with aggression. Late 15th century, French, hostile, of belonging to an enemy. I'm going to say that again. Hostile. Late is an adjective. Late 15th century, from French, hostile, or of belonging to an enemy. 15th century, or directly from Latin, hostilis, of an enemy, belonging to, or characteristics of the enemy. A stranger, a foreigner, stranger, a host, guest, hostile person. Right, so it's a stranger. People that are considered your friends, lovers, family. Well, family could be hostile towards one another, but let's cut the family out, because family is just people that you're related to. So family can even be hostile towards you as well. So we're going to cancel that out. So lovers and friends, they are not hostile towards you. So anyone that's hostile towards you, just know automatically that is not a friend. That is someone that does not love you. Are we clear on that? Anyone who shows hostility or aggression towards you, that is not your friend. They are not your lover. They don't care about you. Are we clear? Great. Let's move on. Now, I looked up also what is aggression in humans. Now, and this is what I got off the Google search. Aggression, a potential symptom of disease, disorder, or condition that interferes with thought processes such as brain tumors, dementia, post-traumatic stress disorder, schizophrenia, and a number of personality disorders. Just kind of read that over again. So we understand that the cause of aggression in the 3D world, we're talking from a 3D aspect. We're going to get ready to go into a spiritual aspect of it. So that way you can get both sides of, both points of view. You can get a full scope of what you're dealing with when you realize someone is being aggressive towards you, when someone is hostile towards you, what's really going on behind that person, what's going on in that person's thought process for them to behave the way they do. Now, aggression, a potential symptom of disease, comma, right? So we're going to pause there for a second. Disease. Now, we can look at disease from a standpoint of someone has a disease. There's all types of diseases. So people are not in their right mind when they're dealing with certain types of diseases. So that could be a cause of aggression towards someone. Someone's dealing with disease. Now, you can also look at the word as a dis-ease. So something that's not easing in another person for whatever reason it may be. There's a dis-ease within them, or something that you may say or something that you may do, not necessarily towards them, or you just may have a general understanding or belief in something, and they may feel diseased by that, right? So the aggression would come out. It's triggered. Disorder or conditions. So it's a disorder. So that means it's out of order. When someone is aggressive, they're out of order, right? Now we're going to talk about how you handle when someone is out of order, when someone's using aggression towards you, because you're going to have to protect yourself, right? You don't use the same tactics against them, especially if they're verbally aggressive. That's your red flag and your signal to remove yourself from around this person, because there's something that they're dealing with. It has nothing to do with you in a lot of cases. In many cases, it has nothing to do with you, the reason why they feel the way they feel or what they're going through. That's not your concern, unless you want to make it your concern. And that's a whole different story. You're on your own when it comes down to that. In a lot of cases, you got to remove yourself from the situation unless that's your job or profession to deal with these kind of people, or they're paying you for a therapeutic session to help relieve these issues that they may be internally dealing with, right? Okay. So it's a disorder. We know this. They're out of order or condition that interferes with thought processes. So we know that this aggression has something to do, this hostility has something to do with a condition that interferes with thought processes. So maybe some kind of dis-ease or disease they're dealing with, which interferes with their proper function of the brain, or the mind for that matter, if you want to take it a step further. It's something that's not clicking, or something's not operating properly within the mind of an individual who is aggressive, right? It's deep here. It's really deep. This is something that we need to consider, because people are finding themselves dealing with aggression more and more, in others. These people may just be having some type of financial situation or financial issue. That's something that they're personally dealing with, and they can't handle it, and they have to take it out on other people. For instance, people get upset with you. They might ask you to borrow some money, or, give them some money, and you tell them you don't have it, or, you can't do it. You're not in a position to do it. Then they may get upset or aggressive with you because of it. That's something that they got going on in their mind. And it's time for you to remove yourself from those kind of people, because those people will harm you for the sake of their issue and to get what they want. That's where thievery comes in. But we're not talking about that. Let's move on here. So we know it interferes with the thought processes when someone is aggressive. They have something as a mental imbalance there, right? A disorder. It all ties in, such as brain tumors. Now, that's something that someone is dealing with. That's something pretty aggressive brain tumors. It's a sharp pain, so that someone may have in their head. Look up tumors, but it's a sharp pain, that a consistent throbbing in the head. I'm not going to go into what a tumor is. You can definitely look that up on your own to get further understanding on this. But we know what a tumor is. It's like a severe headache, right? So that could be a cause of the aggression. They're going through some type of pain. And, you may try to talk to them and ask them, hey, what's wrong? Are you okay? And they may lash out at you because they can't handle what they're going through in their mind and what they're feeling. It's not justified, but you can be more compassionate and understanding towards someone who may be dealing with this condition, with a diagnosed condition of tumors, right? You have a little bit more sympathy and empathy for them because you understand that they're going through. Still, I suggest you just, don't be around them. If it's a family, a friend, a loved one, then you may choose to be around it. Fine, it's a choice. Now, it also goes to dementia. So we all know what dementia is. If you don't, look up the word dementia, Dementia. So dementia is, to my understanding, I believe it's has to do with dealing with the memory. You kind of lose your memory to a sense, or you just kind of go into different thought processes and different compartments within your mind, and neglecting others. The brain is a complex organ. So we know people who have dementia could be aggressive. They may forget who they are, right? So these kind of people need to be under some type of surveillance, some type of supervision, some type of management, because they can't handle themselves. Post-traumatic stress disorder, schizophrenia, right? And a number of personality disorders. So people could just be dealing with some type of personality disorder. They don't know who they are. A lot of parents these days are messing up their children. And because they're messed up themselves, they're just simply passing it on to their children. And now you got all kind of people walking around here who have issues that have not been diagnosed, issues that have gone unchecked for years. So these issues that have been going unchecked within these people, they're just simply projecting and putting it out on others. And it shows up in all types of diagnosed behaviors. Narcissism, for one, psychopathy. You have sociopaths. You have these different disorders in people which causes aggression that has gone unchecked for years. And some of these people they can function. They can get a job. They know how to act accordingly when they're in certain environments, because typically they're not acting out like this when they go for a job interview. They know how to turn it on and off. So it goes further for me to say that a lot of these people know what they're doing. It's just they can't control themselves when they're doing it. It's something that they've been doing for so long, they continue in it. So you need to be careful and stay away from these kind of people, because they can harm you. They can be very dangerous. Now, you can defend yourself, but then it just puts you in a position where you have to defend yourself and become aggressive yourself. It's best to just not even associate with them at all, for your safety and theirs. Now, let's move on. We have a great understanding of what aggression is. And if you don't, rewind the tape and listen again. Or do some research. Because this is something that we're dealing with as people on a regular basis. Now, let's talk about this from a spiritual standpoint, right? The scriptures teach that We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against spirit, principalities, and spiritual wickedness in high places. Right? So we know that it doesn't originate from the 3D world. It just shows itself in the 3D world. It starts off spiritually. So if someone doesn't have their spiritual life in order, right? If someone doesn't have that spiritual connection with the Most High, the Creator, they would become aggressive, because we know that when it comes down to the spiritual realms of it, it's some type of entity that could be causing the aggression within someone. It could be some type of demonic possession which causes an aggression in someone, right? So an entity or some type of demonic possession where the vessel, the body, is being used for evil in a sense. It's being used for destruction. It's being used for disorder. It's being used to cause hostility. Right? We're bringing this full circle here. So when someone doesn't have their spirituality in order, in check, they could become aggressive. Some type of entity is using that vessel to accomplish something, to accomplish some type of destructive goal. This is deep, people. We need to be really looking into this, because we see aggression on a regular basis. Men and women lashing out for no reason. There's no justification behind their behavior. But then society even coddles it. That's a whole nother topic right there. Society coddling aggressive behavior. In most cases, they're tolerating it in women. They're not tolerating it in men, because they'll slap the cuffs on them real quick and throw them in a jail cell if men running around here acting a fool in the streets. But a lot of women are getting away with it in a sense. So we need to be really vigilant and understanding what we're dealing with on a regular basis. We need to know who we're associating with. So it could be a spiritual aggression, a physical aggression, but it starts in the spiritual first. So people need to check their spirituality. Who these people are really worshiping. Huh? That's another topic also. Now, I looked up the word friend, right? The reason why I'm looking up the word friend is because friend is the opposite, right, of aggression in a sense. Because someone that's your friend, they're not aggressive towards you. Never. They will never be aggressive towards you if they're a friend. So, this automatically separates someone who is a friend and someone who is not your friend. And if you don't know, now you know. That was a Biggie line, but I didn't mean to say that. It just came out like that. But once again, if you now you know. So you can't say, oh, I didn't know. You can never say that after you've seen this particular video, or if you already had that understanding. A friend is never aggressive towards you. Here's the definition. One attached to another by feelings of personal regard and preferences. Lover. Friend, loving, present to love. A person who knows well and regard with affection and trust. Let's pause there for a second. It goes a little bit further, but we're going to pause there for a second, right? And meditate on that. We're going to roll over this for a little bit, all right? So, we know that a friend is that has feelings towards another of personal regard and preference, a lover. They love you. Someone that loves you is never aggressive towards you. Simple. If somebody try to tell you otherwise, get away from them. Because now they're trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Now they're trying to use deception. Right? Loving, present to love. So when they love you, they are your friend. Simple. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you love me, you're going to show me kindness all the time. There's going to be feelings, regards to personal preferences. A person who is well regarded with affection and trust. So you can trust this person. If you don't have any trust for whoever you're associated with, they're not your friend. They don't love you. Simple. If you cannot trust someone, they are not your friend. I don't care if it's your wife or husband for X amount of years. I don't care if it's your mom or dad. I don't care if it's your uncle, sister, or brother, your auntie. I don't care who it is, your blood, someone that is born within your own family. If they are hostile towards you, if they are aggressive towards you, if they are any way, shape, or form behaving opposite of a friend or a lover, they don't care about you. They do not love you. Simple. I don't care how you feel about it. It is what it is. And someone that you trust. So, someone that you trust, that's a friend. If you trust someone, that's a friend. If you don't trust them and you know back of your head, this person is a snake, this person is a deceiver, this person is aggressive towards me, they are not your friend. They do not love you. Simple as that. I don't care if they're, like I said, your mom, dad, uncle, sister, or brother. Doesn't matter. They don't love you. There's something going on in that brain of theirs. They need help. It needs to get checked. An associate who provides cooperation or assistance. I've been saying this to people for so long. If someone can't provide you any cooperation, right? And then I hear a lot of people talk about, in relationships, you should be cooperating with one another. If you're in a relationship with someone and they're not cooperating with you, that's not your lover. 9 times out of 10, they got multiple lovers. They don't love you. They don't love you because they can't cooperate with you, right? And they don't offer any assistance. Now, some people may offer you some type of assistance. They may have some love for you, but it depends. There's ways of figuring that out. There's a way to balance that out to kind of figure out if it's kind of a deception behind that. If they're just showing some type of assistance just to get something out of you. It shouldn't have to be doing something for someone just to get something out of them. They should be wanting to automatically reciprocate. It's a back and forth thing. So, I don't have to necessarily, if you ask me for, $20 and then I'm just turning around and later on like, okay, hey, you got my $20. I shouldn't have to ask for it back. You should automatically know in the back of your mind, oh, such and such gave me $20. Hey, here's your $20 that I let borrow. Now I might say, I don't need it. Just keep it. It's all good. You're my friend. I know if I'm short of $20 at one point in time, I know I can come to you and get $20 without a problem, especially if you have it, right? It's reciprocation. I'm not looking for you to give it back to me, but you already know in the back of your mind, hey, such and such did this for me. I'm going to automatically, offer it back to them. And if they say no, then it's okay. You washed your hands with it. It's cool because you guys are friends. I'm not looking to see if I can get something back. I'm not keeping tally and tabs of what I did for you. Now, I remember it, but I'm not keeping tally and tabs. Like, I don't got it written down on paper like, oh, I gave such and such X amount of dollars on this day. This is not, these are friends. It's not, business partners. But then again, you could still keep tally of it, but you may not necessarily say anything about it because you're considering that person a friend. right? So a person who backs politicians, or a team. So this person backs you up. Someone that is a friend, someone that is not aggressive towards you, right? No, someone that is a friend, they back you up. For instance, if I'm deciding to start a business, and then I reach out to my friends and family members, right? And I ask for, hey, I'm starting a business. If they can't back you up, friends or family members or lovers, whoever, they're not your friend. Simple. They don't love you. It's simple. They could be your family members, people in your bloodline, but they don't love you. They're not your friend. Simple. This is not rocket science, right? So, in short, we show that people that are aggressive, in conclusion, people that are aggressive towards you, right? People that are hostile towards you. We know that they're dealing with some type of mental disorder, excuse me, or something spiritual is going on within themselves. They have a spiritual disconnect. There's a spiritual disconnect within that person. So they can't be your friend if they're aggressive. We can kind of point out a laundry list of different types of people that are out in society who are aggressive. But we're not going to get into that right now. So these people are not your friend. They don't have your best interest at heart. If someone can't be patient and kind with you and friendly, stay away from them. Those kind of people will hurt you. Learn the difference. Know the difference. Unless you got a death wish and you choose to hang around certain people like this, that's another story. It's something different. I can't talk about that. But for the ones who love themselves, who care about their life, and want to move on and do better things, stay away from aggressive people. They will pull you into a place where you don't want to be. Try to get you to be aggressive towards them, and then flip the script and say you're the aggressor. These people are calculated. They know what they're doing. Be smart, people. Be careful out there. People are desperate and they'll do anything. People are desperate and they will do anything to harm you in the name of so-called money. For whatever other reason or agenda that they may have. Be careful. Anyways, for the people who are dealing with aggressive people, people who know that you're aggressive and you want to change, you want to do better for yourself, you want to get to know yourself. People, I suggest you get yourself a numerology report. With the numerology report, you'll be able to have a better understanding of who you are and the particular energy that you hold and how to master that energy and live your life to the fullest. Because if you don't know yourself, that's a problem. That's the reason why a lot of people are out here acting a fool, because they don't know themselves. So, get yourself a numerology report and know yourself. Also, we offer astrology reports, so you can have a great understanding of who you are. My email is in the description. Shoot me an email if you want a numerology report. You can get a free one online, but it's limited. This will get you a full, extensive numerology report. So that way you have a deep understanding of who you are. So that way you have a guide to navigate this earth realm, this earth plane, this place we call Earth. Peace, YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you can get future videos like this. Peace.